Hi, my name is Ben, and 14 years ago I had a life-changing accident, which means that everything changed in an instant. A diving accident left me with a C7 spinal cord injury, which, if you could see underneath this desk, means that I'm a permanent wheelchair user. And in today's video, I want to talk about honestly what it's been like. I'm going to tell you some highs, some lows, and everything in between. And the reason is because I portray quite a lot of joy and purpose in my life, and that is correct. I have a fantastic life, believe me. But the truth as well is that despite all of that joy, that purpose that I have, it's still really, really hard every day. So if you didn't know me and you saw me in the street, you think, life must be pretty hard for that guy because he can't walk. But there's so much more that goes on than just not being able to walk. Believe me, that's a challenge, and we go a little bit more into that in a bit. There's so many things that you don't even take into consideration because it's things that you take for granted if you're not in this position. Things like getting dressed in the morning, for example, are a whole challenge to themselves that requires a lot of focus and a lot of physical and mental challenges. And that's just the start of the day. And that's not even the only thing at the start of the day either. There's things like going to the toilet and showering too. And it's in those situations that you can really see where spinal cord injury strips away your independence. Managing my bowels and my bladder is not just physically exhausting, but it's emotionally draining too. And even if I think I get it right, accidents still happen. I can't even count the amount of times I've wet myself and pooed myself. And that itself, it is embarrassing, but it's not just embarrassing, it's also disheartening too. And not just that, also then I've got to clean up, which is definitely not a glamorous process. And all of that is just a reminder every single day of what I've lost through this injury. And yet, we have to adapt. You just have to, because the other side of not just getting on with it is a place that I've been, and it's a dark place that I never want to be again. Another battle, for example, is our pressure sores. Spending most of the time sat down means I have to be constantly vigilant. If I'm not shifting my weight or looking after my skin, then pressure sores can develop, and they can develop quickly and be downright dangerous. And this isn't just like a normal wound. This is a deep wound that can cause serious health ramifications, and it can put you out for weeks, months, even years, where your whole life basically has to be put on pause. And it's your life on pause. Everything else is going past you, but you're just sat there. And that's a situation we never want to be in. And let's not forget the energy that it takes to do all of this. The physical energy, the mental energy, the spiritual energy that it takes to have a spinal cord injury is exhausting. Every single movement takes planning and effort. For lack of a better phrase, every time we step out the house, there are 1,000,001 challenges to do what we want to do that most people just take for granted. The reason being, this world isn't designed for a wheelchair user. Yes, there are ramps in place, but how do we know that we can get on the train that we need to get on? How do we know that toilet's going to be acceptable? How do we know that the lift is going to be working when we get to the building that we need to get into? How do we know that I can transfer in and out the car that I need to transfer into? All these things that are designed for humans aren't necessarily designed for humans that also use wheelchairs that legs don't work. And although we do a great job, there is a huge community out of people that are adapting to a fantastic degree, but it is relentless. And there are days where it feels too much. I have been there plenty of times where you're tired of the routine, the complications, the adaptations you have to do, the constant need to problem solve. It can be super lonely and very much overwhelming. But here's the thing, even in the middle of all of that, all of the hardships, all of the complications, the physical, the emotional toll that it puts on our body, there is still so much to live for. And I'm not going to list everything that there is to live for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an obvious statement. There's so much to live for. There's so many beautiful things in this world to see and to do. But for me personally, I want to give you some of the things that are on top of that, extra, personal to me. And the first one is very personal to me, which is my wife. She sees me at my lowest. She also sees me at my highest. She sees me when I'm trying really hard to do something. She sees me when I'm failing to do something. She sees me when I've done something successful as well. And all through that, she stays by my side with patience and with grace. Her love and support reminds me every day that I'm not in this alone. And despite all of the challenges that we go through, we have a fantastic life, full of love, full of adventure, and many other great things too. Another thing personal to me is this, what you're watching, my work. I've been truly blessed to help other people, like yourself perhaps, watching this video, to lead a better life, whether that's through exercise videos that I produce, things like this to help with the mental health side of things, or any way that I get to connect with other people in my situation and to help them on their journey. Hopefully through my videos I can show you that although it's hard, although those things that I've already listed really do get in the way, there is a way through. There's a way to live a life full of joy, full of purpose, full of happiness, and all those other good things. So that for me, knowing I can make that small difference in people's lives really helps to help me live my own life. And you can think of this slightly selfishly, but in a way, these videos that I create are just as much for me as they are providing something for you. I won't lie, there are days that I wish that I wasn't in this situation, where I dream of a life of what could it have been if I hadn't been in this situation. But there's no point of thinking that way. This is my reality. And as hard as it is, it's beautiful in its own way. It's taught me resilience, gratitude, and the appreciation of every little moment. If you're watching this video and you are struggling, I want you to know, yes, it's hard, first of all. I'm there, I'm fighting it every single day. And it's okay to feel the weight of how hard it is. It's okay to feel sad, angry, frustrated, hatred towards the world, but doesn't mean that you have to let it define you. Keep fighting, keep adapting, keep finding those moments of joy. Hold on to those moments, focus on those. Find ways to make more of those moments. Make it a priority in your life to find joy, find happiness, because it is out there. And because life, although as hard as it is precious. And you are not alone. Are you ready to start your fitness journey? Then sign up now at adaptandperform.co.uk and get access to hundreds of workouts specifically for us wheelchair users.